Hey everybody, the Super Vader 400 here, Douglas Blair Roberts here. It's time for another review. As you can see by the title above, this is my review of World Series Wrestling, the Australian promotion's International Assault Tour 2K 2018, 2K18, best of the best, which I think took place in July of this year. This is also a re-review of that review because I could have sworn I finished recording this review several weeks ago, but it turns out I never finished recording. Well, here's the review. Here is here's my late out of date review of that awesome show. It will be on my Super Vader 400 channel and Douglas Blair Roberts account. With that being said, let's get started right now. And by the way, before we get to part two of this video, before I start this video, this was an awesome show, and it was one of the best shows I've seen of 2018. All right, let's get started right now. Hey everybody, the Super Vader 400 here, Douglas Blair Roberts here, and of course Mr. the Fanboy here, back for another review. And as you can see by the title above, this is part two of my World Series Wrestling International Assault Tour 2K 2018, titled Best of the Best. There were 6 matches on this card. Of course, I'm only going to talk about 4 because the YouTube channel only uploaded 4 of the matches from this awesome event. But what an awesome venue it was. First of all, the venue was great. It was bigger than most of the previous International Assault Tour shows, and the card for the most part was good, and the crowd, they were heavily hyped and into everything. That's one of the coolest parts about having smaller crowds, is that they're into everything. They're into everything that goes on. With that being said, let's get started. Of course, there were 6 matches, but I'm only going to talk about 4. All 4 matches were good, with the first, third, and fourth matches being the best, and the second match being the worst out of the 4 matches. The first match was Brian Cage taking on the villain Marty Scurll in a phenomenal bout to start the show. This was an awesome fight. Marty Scurll did a good job portraying a chicken shit heel and making Brian Cage look strong and dominant throughout the entire match. My only problem with this match came at the end. At the end, World WSW regular wrestler Jonah Rock came out to distract Brian Cage when Brian Cage was just about to pick up the victory, allowing Marty Scurll to hit a low blow and roll him up for the small package for the 1, 2, 3. Really wanted Brian Cage to win. He should have won this fight right here. But an awesome match to start the show. The second match of the night, which is the worst match of the night, that was a tag team match between Johnny Impact and Johnny Impact. Oh yeah, Johnny Impact and Robbie Eagles, the baby faces of the match, versus Austin Aries and Slex, the heels of the match. My first problem with this match was, first off, it took a while for it to get started. All these guys spent time. All these guys, especially Impact and Aries, spent too much time taunting each other before the match began. Too much shenanigans before the match that kind of killed my interest in the match. The second thing is I wanted Aries and Impact to fight each other in singles competition, and I wanted Slex and Eagles to wrestle each other in singles competition instead of pairing these guys up together in some random tag team tag team match. But when the match finally did get going, it started off okay, and it really picked up towards the end when every wrestler started busting out their finishers out of nowhere. Robbie Eagles and Slex and Impact were of course the best parts of this match. Everyone did a good job, but those three were the best parts of this match. And the match ended when Aries tried to go for his brainbuster finisher. Robbie Eagles rolled him up for another small package for the 1-2-3. 1-2-3. So like I said, pretty good match, but the worst match of the night. The next match, one of the best matches of the night, was Zack Sabre Jr. taking on the Jonah Rock guy from earlier, and this was a phenomenal fight. Zack Sabre, for the most part, controlled most of the match. He had the most offense in the match, even though Jonah Rock really controlled most of the match, as a big man should. As a big man should. And these guys, for 20 minutes, for nearly 20 minutes, were able to keep me entertained. Keep me entertained. The match ended when Jonah Rock hit his splash on Zack Sabre Jr. for the 1-2-3. Didn't like the finish, but do like the realism. Do like the realism. Jonah Rock is much bigger than Zack Sabre Jr., even though Zack Sabre Jr. is way better. So yeah, that was that match. The main event of the night, main event, what a fight, was a hardcore match between Abyss and UK wrestler Jimmy Havoc, man. Awesome fight, man. Awesome fight. Lots of cool spots. With one of the more memorable spots, featured Abyss taking off um Jimmy Havoc's Jimmy Havoc's shoes, taking off Jimmy Havoc's shoes and choke slamming him, trying to choke slam him onto the tacks, and Jimmy Havoc reversing it, but still landing bare feet on the tacks. Bare feet on the tacks. Jimmy Havoc controlled most of the match. I mean, Jimmy Havoc had the most offense in the match, with of course Abyss controlling most of the match. But Jimmy Havoc, he had the most offense in the match. The match ended when Abyss hit his black hole. I think hit a choke slam onto Havoc, onto the tacks for the 1-2-3. Like I said, and that was this show. Like I said, an awesome show. The venue was awesome. It was much bigger than the previous International Assault 2K tours. Since this show was the latest, I decided to review this one first. And in my longer my thoughts on professional wrestling 2018, and in another salute video, I'll be talking more about World Series of Wrestling, giving my thoughts on the upcoming show, because they got another big time show coming up. But World Series of Wrestling instantly becoming one of my all-time favorite promotions nowadays. And yeah. So yeah, that was World Series Wrestling. Well, that's it for now. Let's hit that music.